In the news tonight, Anambra State government places 5 million naira reward for information leading to the arrest of the remaining fleeing suspects in the murder of the late Nemo PG. Anambra State Police Command parades suspected kingpin in the murder of the late Nemo PG, Chief IGBOKA. Nigerian Governors Forum inducts new and returning governors, charges them on internally generated revenue. 29 persons killed, 13 others missing after Indonesia's torrential rains. Good evening and thanks for joining us on ABS Television News. I am Franklin Onyekachi. Details of the news. The Anambra State government has issued a warning to landlords in the state to be mindful of the kind of tenants they accommodate in their houses. Governor Biano, who handed out the warning during the State Executive Council meeting, commended all security agencies in the state for arresting the criminals that allegedly assassinated the late President General of Nemo, Chief Anthony IGBOKA. Government House correspondent Ejike Abana has more.
Obiano, who assured Anambra that the state remains the safest in Nigeria, stressed that buildings used as criminal hideouts will be pulled down in accordance with the provisions of the laws of the state, advising landlords to run background check on prospective tenants before renting their houses. The governor stressed that though cultism is a challenge in the country, a special police squad is dedicated to tackling cultism and cultists, warning youths in the state against engaging in crime, as job spaces are available for them in all sectors of the state economy, especially in agriculture.
Our wide network was able to assist us, plus the bounty of 5 million for anybody that gives us information on that. So we got a tip and we picked the guys. We were able to assess their chat group and we saw how they planned everything. And the native doctor that they also plan to kill. We've since secured the native doctor, and of course, Chibo Anyebu is cooling off in the police cell. He's also made confessions, that clearly shows why they did that. That I'll leave the police and the team to explain to you. But what is important from the Anambra is to once more be reassured that Anambra remains the safest state in Nigeria. Safest state in Nigeria.
While pointing out that the 5 million naira bounty for informants, among other machineries, helped solve the crime, the governor said that the bounty have since been paid to the informant, adding that extra 5 million naira bounty per head is still up for grabs to persons that will give useful information, leading to arrest of the remaining 3 suspects in the late IGBOKA case. Governor Biano continued that law enforcement agencies are on the lookout for them, reiterating that his administration value the lives of Anambra no matter their place of residence, warning criminals to stay away from the state.
I'm very confident that in a very short time we're going to pick these 3 guys and deal with them in the manner that we deal with them. Landlords, be careful who you pick up as your tenants. Very important, because we're not going to spare your house. No excuse. By the way, in 3 weeks' time, we are going to launch second phase of Operation Pocha, and we have new equipment.
From the Government House, Oka, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
The Anambra State Police Command says it has arrested a total of 264 suspects for various criminal activities in the state within the month of April. The State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mustafa Dandaura, disclosed this while briefing the press on the exploits of the command within the month under review. Ekwiyajide has the rest of the story.
Some of the suspects arrested include one Chibo Anyebu, a suspected main kingpin in the murder of the late President General of Nemo, Chief Frank Anthony IGBOKA, and Ikechukwu Emele, suspected of kidnapping and killing the 85-year-old Pa Ilangose, father to former Super Eagles player Chikelo, in 2014. Also arrested was Chidubem Umalo of Obubampo, who has been on the police wanted list for serial court-related killings including the killing of one Arinze Uzebu in 2018. Exhibits recovered from the suspects include 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 Beretta pistol, 2 double-barrel guns, 2 revolver pistols, 2 fabricated guns, 2 toy guns, 160 live ammunition of 7.62 mm, and many others, including electronic gadgets. Some of the suspects that spoke to the ABS, however, denied their involvement in the alleged crimes. For Chibo Aniebu, he was with the perpetrators but was not involved.
Nobody paid me cover. I didn't participate in the killing. I wasn't happy with the killing. I didn't act in the killing.
Chidubem, on his part, claimed he does not know the reason for his arrest, since he was arrested where he was drinking in a bar, while Ikechukwu Emele claims he is a native doctor but was implicated by one of his clients for not assisting him perpetrate evil. His claim was, however, countered by the ex-Super Eagles player Chikelu Ilanuse, saying his phone was used to call the suspect by one of the gang members, asking him to come along with a gun, which he did, but escaped by jumping down a 3-story building, even with handcuffs in place.
Boy, they don't tell me already. Some people will kill me, and I never got the thing before. I don't know about the teeth.
Okay, so you didn't do anything?
I didn't do anything.
This man is doing DBI in our village. He's the one that will give us the information. It's not something that we'll talk here. We'll meet him one-on-one, so don't lie anything. If you want to set yourself free, you talk the simple truth and we'll leave.
CP Mustafa, while appreciating Governor Willie Obiano for his support to the command, assured in the Anambra that the state will remain the safest state in Nigeria despite isolated cases which the police and sister agencies are tackling already.
These guys are cultists. They are cultists. And anytime you give information about them, they look at you as their number one enemy.
The arrested cultists were mainly aged between 17 and 21. Ekwi Ajide.
A call to curb fake news with regards to its negative impact on the larger society has been made. The Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Mr. Sidon Adenuba, made this call in Oka during a one-day digital media conference against fake news and misinformation organized by the Association of Digital Media Core Advocates. Correspondent Valentine Mbadoa reports.
Mr. Adenuba, who was represented by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Mr. James Eze, decried the level of harm the phenomenon has done to the society and called on those who indulge in such acts to have a rethink. He further advised that people should fact-check whatever content they publish, especially on social media, to avoid misinforming the public.
He said the most likely place for a conversation on what we should all do to, take firm control of the social media space and make the best use of it. Unfolding scenario before all of us and across the world is a paradigm-busting scenario where old mass media scholars will have to go back to the classroom. We need new books because the media has changed. The mass media is not what we used to know. It's not, media practice has changed. Public relations practitioners and people who use the instruments of the media, we need to go back to school to study.
On his part, the keynote speaker at the conference and editor-in-chief of National Light newspapers, Sachoka Nnabife, advocated for proper sensitization as a way to curb the menace and advised that credibility should be considered first before publishing anything online.
There are very few research publications on this trend because it's relatively new. Facebook is only 15 years old. Are you getting? You must have really regular publications and seminars and conferences on this to boost the information. And you must be having things like this, like awareness. You must now learn and operate within the ethical standards of journalism. So that when the mainstream journalists don't want to accept you in their fold. You understand? they won't have anything to throw away because you have a bigger handle. You have the public with you.
The workshop, which has its theme as digital media, engaging unifying voices against online fake news and misinformation, has in attendance major players in the media industry, legal practitioners, the academia, government functionaries, amongst others. In Oka, Valentine Mbadwa reporting for ABS News.
Over 100 freshmen have taken their matriculation vows at the third matriculation ceremony of Legacy University Okija. Legacy University Okija is a private institution approved in 2016 as a full-fledged university with over 400 students. Correspondent Daniel Eziwe was at the matriculation ceremony and now reports.
Students each were celebrating a tough beginning of academic journey in the courses offered by the institution in arts, social sciences, management sciences, natural and applied sciences. Addressing the freshmen, Governor Willie Obiano, who was represented by the Commissioner for Tertiary Science and Technical Education, Professor Teresa Obiekezie, said the university represents a strong need for the establishment of more tertiary institutions in Anambra State to accommodate the growing academic pursuits of the younger generation. He urged the matriculating students to pursue their academic careers with intense diligence, a way of repaying their parents' and guardians' struggles.
And I am happy because we need more tertiary institutions in Anambra State. So whoever that conceived this idea should be clapped for. I would wish that this institution be publicized so that our children would know that we have a big institution here where they can study. The institution is young, I know, but from what I can see today, they are in the right direction.
The university's pro-chancellor and chairman of the governing council, Dr. Leonard Nkameme, said that the Legacy University Okija was already in established partnership with ICT University, Louisiana, United States of America, which has resulted in the provision of over 300,000 books relating to the programs run by the university installed in its e-library.
Next month, we commissioned our ICT learning system installed and equipped by Southern University USA, Louisiana USA, that can help our students here have lectures abroad, overseas, anywhere from here. And people can from their home receive lectures from Legacy University. It takes a lot to do that. The equipment is one of the best in this country, knowing fully well now that ICT is no longer an optional something, it's something that you can't do without. So they ease the stress and difficulty and challenges of people moving up and down. And for now, our library is loaded with 300,000 books of all the courses we are running here.
In his matriculation address, the acting vice-chancellor of the university, Professor Gabriel Anene, reminded the new students of the institution's ground rules for students, including regular class attendance, shunning cultism, resistance to exam-related offenses, amongst others.
All students should have counsel to guide their activities. They are expected to read them thoroughly. They are therefore advised to remain focused so that nothing stands on their way to excel. The end justifies the means. We solicit the assistance. We solicit assistance from government, companies, banks, and private individuals to augment what we have.
The member-elect Ihiala Federal Constituency, Barrister Ifeanyi Moma, was also at the matriculation ceremony, while the freshmen were admitted to the university's oath of allegiance to draw the curtain on the occasion. From Okija, Ihiala Council Area, Daniel Eziwe, ABS News.
Still to come, Nigerian Governors Forum inducts new and returning governors, charges them on internally generated revenue. 29 persons killed, 13 others missing after Indonesia's torrential rains. After the break, stay with us.
It shows Diamond shared the dream to build more than just a bank, bringing the online revolution to Nigeria and becoming part of the networked society, helping to lift the country and continent out of recession to enrich its people too. Now, with our two banks fused together, we can help more move up the social ladder and help future generations make more of their lives, whoever and wherever they are. A new bond to help unleash the potential in every African who banks with us.
Thanks for being there and welcome back. The Nigeria Governors Forum Secretariat Abuja has inducted the newly elected and returning governors. The program, which held at the Banquet Hall Presidential Villa, was attended by the newly elected governors and the outgoing ones. President Buhari, who is in the United Kingdom on a private visit, was represented at the event by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo. Chairman of the forum and the outgoing governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, told the newly elected governors to get ready to face new challenges. While praising President Buhari for releasing bailout funds for the states, the Zamfara governor called on state governors to increase their internally generated revenue, warning that over-relying on crude oil will not help the states to meet their financial challenges. Documents obtained from the NGF Secretariat show that the induction is aimed at supporting incoming governors to develop key governance and management skills that will enable them to transition from campaigning to managing the processes of governance. The Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to, in his second term, work towards ending Nigeria's continued dependence on imported petroleum products. The call was part of the communique issued by the President of NUPENG, Mr. Williams Akboreha, at the end of his National Executive Council meeting on Sunday in Lagos. The oil workers said Nigeria's dependence on imported petroleum products to run its economy, despite being a leading producer and exporter of crude oil in the world, was shameful and unacceptable. NUPENG said that it will give necessary backing to government to ensure that Africa's biggest economy was able to refine locally instead of exporting crude and importing finished products. The union also encouraged state governments from the oil-rich Niger Delta region to invest in building of oil refineries to cater to the domestic, commercial, and industrial use by the citizenry. He stressed the need for the federal government to revive the country's existing refineries in Warri, Kaduna, and Port Harcourt, and impressed it upon investors granted oil refining licenses to build the refineries. And on the foreign scene, floods sparked by torrential rains have killed 29 people in Indonesia, with a dozen more still missing, officials revealed today, marking the latest calamity for a disaster-prone nation. Landslides and floods are common, especially during the monsoon season between October and April, when rains lash the vast Southeast Asian archipelago. Indonesia's disaster agency confirmed 29 deaths and said that at least 13 more people were missing after days of pounding storms on the island of Sumatra. Some 12,000 people have been evacuated from waterlogged Bengkulu province, with hundreds of buildings, bridges, and roads damaged. Hardest hit was Bengkulu Tengah district, just outside of the provincial capital, where 22 people were killed, along with hundreds of livestock. Authorities have set up temporary shelters and public kitchens for the evacuees. And on sports, Czech international striker Josef Sural has been killed after a bus carrying several of Turkish club Aytemiz Allianspor players crashed. Sural, 28, died at the hospital where he and 6 of his teammates were taken after a bus carrying them back from a game at Kerispor crashed yesterday. Ex-Cardiff and QPR defender Steven Kalka was on the bus and is unharmed physically but emotionally distraught. Chairman Hassan Kafuzgolu claimed the driver had fallen asleep, while a second on-board driver was also reportedly asleep when the accident happened around 3 miles from the club's home city of Alanya. Kafuzgolu said the 6 players, other than Sural, were not in a critical condition. The Anambra State government, leaders and members of the Anambra State Association of Town Unions, ASATU, joined Okpuno community to mourn late Honorable Peter Madabrochukwu Obidima. Late Peter Obidima, who was committed to murder earth by priests and members of St. John's Anglican Church, Okpuno, at his compound, Ezinifite Village, Okpuno, was aged 43. Correspondent Amaka Chibuzo Koye filed a report taken from here.
Late Honorable Obidimma, popularly known as Bishop, was until his death the National Secretary of ASATU, President General of Okpuno Progressives Union, Secretary Anambra State Civil Society Organizations, and Patron, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Anambra State Chapter. Governor Willie Obiano, represented by the State Head of Service, Barrister Hariodo, lamented the sudden demise of Peter Obidimma, saying that the exit of a loved one is always painful. While commending his enormous services to his community, unions, and the state at large, Governor Obiano condoled with the family, asking them to hope in God and embrace him as their pillar for a better future.
For them to take heart. You can see the very young widow with the little kids and so on. It's very painful. The mother is there, you can see. It's quite painful all around. But what can you do? You can't fight God. He knows the best. He knows what is best for us. So we'll take it with the usual Christian equanimity and hope that the future will be better.
In a sermon during the burial service, the vicar of St. John's Parish, Okpuno, Reverend Canon Dr. Onyekachukwu Egwuonwu, assured that those who died in the Lord will resurrect with Christ at the sound of the trumpet, warning that all should prepare their ways in order not to be found wanting on the last day.
I want to prophesy into our lives. I want to prophesy into our communities. There will be resurrection in our lives. I went to the food. If all food gave me men, who do food that man day? I'm a lot of that man day.
Sympathizing with the bereaved on behalf of ASATU, National President of the Association, Chief Alex Onuhwe, said that the memories of late Obidimma and his services to ASATU will remain evergreen.
His death came to us as a very good shock, but like we have had here, we have accepted it because every person, all mortals must die. It's only on this note that we want to accept the fact that our friend is no more. And we pray the Almighty to comfort the family. The wife and the little children will stay here.
In their separate speeches, the state chairman of Ohaneze Ndibo, Chief Damian Okeke-Ogene, and the chairman of civil society groups in the state, Prince Chris Azo, said the late Obidimma has paid the price for his community. While appreciating God and all those who contributed to the success of the burial, Mr. Obumneme Obidimma, on behalf of the family, lamented that the exit of their brother remains a big shock, which they will never forget, adding that they will develop on the legacies he left behind.
That report concludes our newscast for tonight, but remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Now to end the news, another look at the top stories. Anambra State government has placed 5 million naira reward for information leading to the arrest of the remaining fleeing suspects in the murder of the late Nimo PG. Anambra State Police Command has paraded suspected kingpin in the murder of the late Nimo PG, Chief IGBOKA. Nigerian Governors Forum has inducted new and returning governors, charges them on raising internally generated revenue. And we also told you that 29 persons have been killed, 13 others reportedly missing after Indonesia's torrential rains. And that's the news. I am Franklin Onyekachi, thanking you for watching. Good night.